Hey everyone, I am Robin the Copy Bitch. This is Stewie, my sidekick sloth. And today we are going to talk about copywriting exercises for beginners. So this question came up from an actual viewer who wrote in, thank you so much for the question, saying, hey, I want to do this copywriting thing, but I actually have not written one single bit of copy. How can I practice? What are some good copywriting exercises to do to develop my skills so that I can feel confident? And that's a great question because I think that a lot of people think like, oh, copywriting would be great. I'm a good writer. This is an interesting career to pursue, but where the heck do I begin? So I have some ideas, but I do want to have a little bit of a disclaimer. So I'm going to assume that you actually are a good writer, and that can be a bit of a thing that you need to make peace with yourself. So if you've had people compliment you on your writing, or if you were that kid who did really well in, high school English class and college English courses and writing comp courses, and you know in your heart of hearts that you are a good writer, meaning you know the basics and more than the basics, you know punctuation, you know grammar, you know spelling, you can debate people on the benefits of the Oxford comma. Okay, you got it. But if you're someone who's like, well, I really think writing would be really cool, and I think I'm a good writer, I'm not saying you're not. I'm just saying you need to be honest with yourself if you're not. I do think that writing skills can be learned if you're willing to put in the work, meaning if your grammar ain't so good, you can actually choose to learn those skills and like I said, learn them. Learn how to punctuate properly, learn proper grammar, learn the difference between ITS and IT apostrophe S, and know that there's no such thing as ITS apostrophe. Like, those are the basic things that I'm assuming if you're here, you're coming to the table. Okay? So disclaimer aside, I'm making the assumption that you actually know how to write. If you know how to write, you can move on to the next step. So, copywriting exercises for beginners. I have some resources and I will link to them in the description, but the first place you're going to want to head is HubSpot Academy. That's HubSpot Academy. Now, HubSpot is an organization that's a company, not even an organization. It's a company that basically coined the term inbound marketing back in the early aughts, and it develops marketing software, online marketing software that companies big and small use to manage their websites, to do customer relationship management. They have CRMs, they have sales tools, they have website builders, they have, they're content marketing experts. So that is the place to start. The best thing about these courses, most of their courses, I think if not all of their courses and certifications, they're free. We love free stuff. So head over to HubSpot Academy. The two courses I would recommend starting with: inbound marketing, because that's going to give you the lay of the inbound marketing land. That sounded really naughty, but you know what I mean. That's going to actually tell you what inbound marketing is, which is kind of the guiding principles that most, if not all, marketers use today and follow. And then you're going to want to do the content marketing certification. So if you do both of those, they walk you through it. They have videos, they have quizzes, they have assessments, and then they have the certification. Do that, and you're going to really start developing some confidence in terms of, your knowledge of inbound marketing and copywriting. If you have some cash to spend, Copyblogger is another place. I haven't actually taken any of their courses. I've taken HubSpot Academy courses, so I can speak from experience. But Copyblogger is a blog it's a website that I follow. Those guys know exactly what they're talking about. They do have some courses. I imagine their courses are probably right on target. And I consider budget friendly, and I know everyone's definition of budget friendly is different, but if you have some cash that you want to put into this, that's a place to check out as well. Another organization is AWAI, America Writers and Artists Institute. They have some courses. So those are three. I will link to them below. I'm sure there are others, and this isn't, I'm not being paid by any of these guys, so don't hold me to it, but you can do your due diligence, do your research, read the reviews. Those are three places to start out as you develop your copywriting exercises so that you can get better at this copywriting thing. But something else that you can do, and this was something that I brought up to the person who emailed me, is the way to get good at copywriting is to just start doing some writing. And you might be like, well, I don't have any clients. This is a chicken and egg conundrum. So I would start with some education, like make sure you understand what content marketing is and what copywriting is and all that sort of good stuff. I have links that I will include to videos of my own that talks about that. But if you have a good feel for what copywriting is and, how to write a good website homepage or email newsletter or sales letter or blog post, you have the basics, you just haven't actually practiced. What you can do, there are two things that you could do. First of all, think about people who own a small business. And it could be a single person. It could be a personal trainer or a landscaper or an acupuncturist, or maybe the owners of the local pizza shop. Whatever it is, I can't guarantee, but I imagine you probably know someone who owns a small business. And they will need marketing help. So you can offer, this is the only time I actually think that copywriters should ever work for free. It's in these very early stages when you're just developing your skills and you're trying to get some clips for your all-important online portfolio. But you could approach one of these people that hopefully and say, hey, I'm getting into copywriting and I want to develop my chops, and I would like to offer you X, Y, and Z free of charge. Just let me, write you 2 blog posts for your website. Let me improve your homepage. Let me write your about copy. Let me do some social media posts free of charge. You get to use it. If you like what I do, after, I deliver that stuff, we can always talk about continuing the arrangement for, a fee, but no obligation if you don't. More than likely, they'd be silly not to say yes to that, because it's content that they need to make their business better and to promote their business. So more than likely, especially if you're friends with the person, they're going to say yes. So now you can challenge yourself, treat it as a client, because they are a client, and how would you approach the blog post? How would you approach writing that about page? How would you approach writing their Facebook posts? You get the idea. So that's how you can practice and also get clips for your online portfolio. So that's a good example of a copywriting exercise. Now, let's say you don't know anyone or you're shy and you just don't want to ask. I get it. And even if you're not shy, you just don't feel comfortable putting someone in that position to have to say yes. Create a fictional company, okay? Like in your mind, just be like, come up with a personal trainer or a pizza shop, and what would be the content that you would write for them? Practice that way. Again, treat it as a client. Don't be, half-assing it. Treat it as a client and write the blog post and, get the keyword phrase in the title. Write the, keyword-rich blog post as you would for a client. Write some social posts. Write a homepage copy. Write an email newsletter or a series of email, whatever it is. You'll know. Like if you've been thinking about copywriting, you know all the different types of, copywriting pieces and collateral pieces that people put together, or a brochure, things like that. And that's how you can practice. And yes, you can use those as clips in the very early stages in your online portfolio. You're going to quickly swap them out once you get real paying clients, but you have to start somewhere, right? And when people are looking for a copywriter, they just want examples to know, like, what you're doing. You know how to write. You know what a keyword is. You know how to use it in copy seamlessly. So as long as you are doing that well, and you can be clear in your portfolio, here are some, you don't have to say fiction. You could just say, here's some samples of this is what copy would look like if you're a personal trainer, if you run a personal training company, or if you're a landscaper, or if you're a hair salon. It can be subtle like that, but that gets the idea across. And then as you get paying clients and real clips to show off in your portfolio, you can get rid of the examples, the stuff that you kind of made up, and put in the real work that you've been doing. So hopefully that gives you some ideas on how to develop your copywriting skills with some copywriting exercises. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I am Robin the Copy Bitch. This is Stewie, my side bitch boss. If you have more questions, ask below or reach out, and we will see you next time.